Do you know that there are over 653,000 people experiencing homelessness in the United States, and globally there are over 150 million people unhoused? I'm standing here in downtown Pittsburgh where there are 1,026 people experiencing homelessness as of January 2024.
My name is Whitney Cole, and I am a senior in the biology program at Mount Aloysius College. I wrote in my diary when I was 7 years old that I wanted to become a rock star in order to give all the money I made to the poor. While my career path has certainly changed, the sentiment has not. It did not surprise my family when I made the decision to obtain my emergency medical technician license to have the privilege and honor of caring for those who are unhoused in Pittsburgh. I am a member of the Street Medicine at Pitt team based in University of Pittsburgh. We go on rounds to provide healthcare and supplies to people experiencing homelessness downtown and in encampments. I also am a volunteer EMT at UPMC 2nd Avenue Commons Clinic, where we care for people regardless of insurance. I'm really passionate about this work, and the people I've worked with are very close to my heart. Today I'm going to be presenting a study about the mortality of people experiencing homelessness in Perth, Australia. This study, conducted from 2016 to 2022, focused on life expectancy and premature deaths. These are measurements used for tracking other illnesses or situations. There are various studies available that convey the correlation between poor health and homelessness, specifically for people who are rough sleepers, meaning those who stay outside in the elements. Overall, there is limited reporting on homeless mortality rates in general in the world, so the researchers' goal was to report some data on this to support the need for advocacy. In addition, there are only 5 peer-reviewed studies published about homelessness deaths in Australia. Homelessness in Australia has been increasing with a severe shortage of public housing, and despite this, there is still no routine reporting on mortality. The data for this study was collected from various homeless healthcare services in Perth and included 8,753 people. I'd like to point out that the over 8,000 people included in this study is underrepresenting the true number of people who are homeless in Perth. This study can only include people who receive services, so this leaves out people who are not receiving services who are unhoused. All of the deaths were cross-checked using the criteria shown on the slide. The study collected data from 2016 to 2022, but only included data in Figure 3 from 2020 to 2022 because that 3-year data range was the most reliable, meaning 93% of the deaths could be verified using 2 or more of those 4 sources. I included this figure to show the geographic breakdown of homelessness in Australia. Perth is one of the major cities highlighted in dark blue, indicating that homelessness there is very high. The areas surrounding Perth are light green, meaning that homelessness is low in those areas. Figure 3 focuses on the number of deaths and life expectancies from 2020 to 2022 of those who experience homelessness in Perth. As you can see, the x-axis is the years measured, while the y-axis includes the numeral data of either the number of deaths shown by the blue bar and the mean age of the deaths shown by the orange bar. Only 8 individuals' deaths out of the 360 deaths in the study reached the median age of death of people who are not homeless, which is 80 years old. This means that 352 out of the 360 deaths occurred before the life expectancy of those who are not homeless. The purpose of this figure is to simply visually portray the numerical data gathered on the mortality of people experiencing homelessness. The average life expectancy for people experiencing homelessness in Perth is 51 years of age. I made this figure to reiterate the 3-decade difference found in this study of the life expectancies of those who are homeless versus those who are not homeless in Perth, Australia. It is devastating to see an existing significant life expectancy gap in a developed, economically stable country like Australia. This multi-decade gap exists internationally as well, emphasizing again the importance of completing this research. It is important to note once again that the data is underrepresented due to the difficulty of keeping track of people, limited data reporting of others, and hospitals marking NFA or no fixed address to patients who died that they did not know their living situation. I believe this study does not need repetition, but it needs continuation because having reliable data collected about this topic allows people like us who are already passionate about helping the unhoused to provide factual information to support why we need policy change, as well as recruit others to help us in the fight to end homelessness globally.
In conclusion, the multi-decade gap between people experiencing homelessness and those who do not is significant, and it requires a policy change.
Here is our memorial wall located on Grant Street in Pittsburgh that commemorates those we have lost who are homeless on our streets. Here are all the references used in this presentation.
Homelessness is not just a crisis in the United States and in Australia, but all throughout the world. I believe if we put our differences aside and we all work together, advocated for those the system has failed, and held our politicians accountable to